Hey everyone, welcome back to Damn Tasty Vegan. My name is Maria Rose, and if you have never cooked tofu before and it kind of overwhelms you and you don't know where to start, then I'm going to take you by the hand and give you a recipe, a very simple recipe to get you started cooking tofu. And I'm not going to overwhelm you with 20 different ways of how to cook it because it is extremely versatile and it can be used in many different ways. But I'm just going to give you one easy way to make it on the stovetop just to get you started. So I'm going to teach you how to make crispy tofu, and it's super easy. So if you're ready, let's hang out for a little bit and I will teach you how to make tofu crispy and delicious. If this video helped you out in any way, please like and subscribe to this channel. It really helps me to grow and I really appreciate it, so thanks. So the first step to getting super crispy tofu is to press your tofu for at least 10-15 minutes. Now, if you don't have a tofu press, that's totally okay. You can make your own at home using like a heavy pan or some heavy books. Just make sure to wrap your tofu up in like a little towel and then just place some heavy objects on top. Now, it's not necessary every single time that you make tofu to press it, but it helps it to make the tofu super crispy. So if you're trying to make crispy tofu, then you want to press the water out. Now you just want to cut your tofu up into little cubes, and this is kind of funny. This is all the tofu I had left for the week because it's kind of hard to find tofu at the moment with everything going on. So I was trying to ration out my tofu supply for the week. And then if you want to have crispy tofu, you need to add some cornstarch in there. And if you want to make this a little bit more flavorful, then you can add like seasonings of choice. So I like to add at least a little bit of salt and then some nutritional yeast and some garlic powder. But you can use whatever seasonings you'd like. But at the bare minimum, just do a little bit of salt and a little bit of cornstarch. So if you're using a whole pack of tofu, then you want to use about 2, maybe 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. So the cornstarch helps to create like a coating on the tofu, and this helps to create a really, really crispy like crust around the tofu. So the secret to tofu, to getting good tofu, is to make sure the heat is just right. So you want to make sure your pan is heated up on like medium low heat, and make sure the oil that you're using is heated up along with it. And once your pan has heated up for about 2 minutes or so, then you add your tofu. Now, another secret to getting crispy tofu is to leave it the heck alone for at least 5 minutes on each side. So I like to set a timer because I either forget or I touch it too soon and it sticks to the pan and crumbles apart. So if your tofu has ever stuck to the pan, it's because you didn't give it enough time to create that little crust that it creates when you leave it alone. So set a timer for about 5 minutes and cook each side for about 5 minutes. And if you'll notice that once you leave it alone long enough to create that crust, it just naturally releases from the pan and it's super easy to flip the tofu over. And then once you crisp each side for at least 5 minutes, then it's time to chow down. And tofu like this is ready to go into like Thai curries or in a wrap, or it's really good to go on top of a salad and have a little dressing poured over it. And it's also really good to put in like Buddha bowls. This adds a really nice crispiness. Just listen. You hear that? Oh, listen to that. How crunchy that is. Yeah, girl, yeah. Now, if you want to go one step further and add a little bit more flavor to your tofu, you can just buy like some store-bought pre-made sauces. Just make sure you check the ingredients that there's no dairy or eggs in them. And you want to add, after you've crisped your tofu on each side, after you did that first step, then you want to add your sauce and you want to cook it long enough for it to crisp back up again, because when you initially add the sauce to the tofu, it'll get soggy pretty quickly. So you want to cook it for an additional 5, maybe 10 minutes on the stove until it crisps back up again, just like this. So for this, I used store-bought buffalo wing sauce and it turned out amazing. So this is like a super easy way to have vegan buffalo wings without going through all the trouble of breading it and baking it and all that fun stuff that comes along with it. So I hope you enjoyed this really simple, easy way to get started eating tofu, and please leave me comments below if you have any questions, or let me know how this turned out for you. All right, I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks, bye.